Welcome to another episode of Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Scott Hansen, and it's on this show that we get the opportunity to spend some time with some of the greatest entrepreneurs, business owners, business executives, media professionals, sports athletes, and everybody in between in the entire Midwest. And today is no different. I'm telling you, we've been having a lot of women on the show recently, and it's been great to hear their perspective. And like I mentioned, today is no different. We have a superwoman who is literally doing everything you can possibly imagine in the world of business, philanthropy. She's a wife, she's a mother, like I said, she's a business owner. She is doing it all. And here on the show today is Young-Nielsen from Advanced Events. Hi, Rachel. How are you?
Hello, Scott. How are you?
I'm great. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I know this is your first time. You're not nervous, are you?
No.
Piece of cake.
Nope. I'm good.
Okay, good. So I want everybody to I know your backstory a little bit, but I think it's a great story because, like this show is all about taking a concept or a dream and making it a reality, but not just stopping there, but continuing to climb up your success mountain. So tell everybody about Advanced Events, because I know that it's not just your typical event or a meeting planning company.
Right.
It's so much more than that. Can you explain more about that?
Absolutely. So we design event engagements specifically around making an impact beyond the event, and even more purposely for businesses that are looking to grow. Yep. And how we can align what their growth plans are, mm-hmm. and use meetings, events, and trade shows to fuel that growth. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing. We've had the opportunity to work with Fortune 500s, with nonprofit organizations, with up-and-coming companies, anybody who's really looking to make a difference. Mm.
So how did you get the idea? So did you come from maybe a corporate America job and say, enough of this, I can go over here and do this on my own? Or how did you get the concept? How did you start it?
It actually came to me.
Okay.
I went to a baseball game one day, the opening day at the new Comiskey Park, and there was just energy and excitement around there. I became part of that. And then I realized more and more that I didn't want to just be around it, I wanted to be causing it. And that there was such energy and opportunity through these face-to-face engagements, whether it was for a baseball game, eventually the United Center, at all of the different sporting events, the concerts, the Democratic National Convention. There was just a huge opportunity to be part of something bigger than what I was doing.
So you were working for someone else, another organization. You were around these events. This atmosphere was a huge buzz for you, but then you're like, how do you go from doing that for someone else to say, I'm going to make this entrepreneurial leap and going off on your own? How did you end up doing that?
How did I end up doing that? Like everything in my life, it chose me. And okay. I wanted this illusion of controlling my own life. And I wanted to show that you can be a mom, you can be a wife, you can be a professional, and you can succeed in doing all of it and still have yourself as a whole person. And I just did it.
You just did it.
I just did it. I figured I could always go back and get a job.
Right.
And thank you God I haven't had to.
Wow. How long has the company been around now?
We're celebrating our 8th year. So
wow.
We're going to our 8th year.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That's huge.
Thank you.
Kind of going off of what I talked about earlier about you guys standing apart from other event companies.
Absolutely.
It sounds like how you described it, you took it another approach, which was, we're not just going to put on the pretty events, right, but we're going to go deeper inside of your company and find out, okay, here's your event that you're doing or you want to do, but let's get the why behind the what and really do more of a consultative approach. Is that sort of the mantra?
Can I bring you everywhere I go?
Sure, absolutely, absolutely.
And it exactly is that. We get into the business. We literally become part of our clients' businesses. And the chaos doesn't mean as much to us. We get to actually get into what are they trying to achieve, help them identify it, help them align around it. And once you have that alignment and you create something purposely and strategically for that outcome, and of course we measure all of our results and hold the process accountable to the result. We never sit back and say, well, I wonder how we did. Right. We know well beforehand what we're setting up for and if we're on target or not.
Which is awesome because 8 years in business, continuing to do some great things. How do you go about, from more of a tactical standpoint, how do you go about marketing your business? And is it more through networking? I know that, like, there's probably some business owners right now that are looking at this interview and saying, wow, how did Rachel grow it from 0 to 8 years? Does she do a lot of networking? Is it a lot of Facebook ads? How do you grow your business?
So we did a lot of, early on, we went back to our clients to find out, why do you love us? What are we doing so differently? Because we couldn't even, the same exact process I do for my clients, I actually couldn't do to myself. So we went out to our clients and said, why are you coming back to us? What are we doing so different for you that you want nobody but us? Because our repeat business, we haven't lost a client yet. Again, thank you. It's huge, and it's not typical. So we found out that we get so deep into the business and the opportunity, and that we prove that they can grow their business, whatever that definition of growing is. It's not always numbers, it's not always sales, it's not always clients. And right now what we're doing is spending a lot of time in the nonprofit sector, because organizations, selfishly, we get to impact entire industries now, not just a business at a time. It's not just about revenue. It's not just about the president or the CEO making a lot of money. It is truly about organizations and industries that are benefiting from our process.
So you did something that, as a business coach, I teach my clients, and someone that also does leadership training, I talk to companies and I say, they always ask me, Scott, what's the best way for me to grow a business? How do I get new clients? I love what you said, which was basically, we took our current client base and we did a survey. What makes us stand apart?
Right.
What makes us your go-to partner? So you take that information, and then how do you go about getting new clients from that?
A lot of it is the organizations that we're involved in, both the Entrepreneurs Organization of Chicago as well as the Association Forum of Chicagoland.
Okay.
So even though it feels like they're two different sectors, for us they're very much similar, and they both have a need to influence an audience and control their message. And that's a huge competitive advantage for both of them.
So your business is a lot of repeat business.
Absolutely.
That's huge.
Absolutely.
So you're not going out having to churn and burn or transactional sale where it's not a one-hit wonder. You're going and you're actually embed your company, your employees, yourself into someone else's company, and in turn they can say, wow, the event itself was great, but the other intangible things that you bring to us, the consultative approach, is what really separates you
the
from
beyond
everybody
your
else.
event. It's
Your
everything
event.
for us is beyond your event. And it isn't that we don't want to just do one event for a client. What we want to do is look at the impact they're making. And that's a continual process. And no, we're not transactional. We that's not the right client for us.
Right, that's great. So I know you work side by side with one of the larger entrepreneurial organizations in the city called EO, or Entrepreneurs Organization.
Correct.
What's that like to be surrounded by these individuals that are anywhere? I know what we've talked outside of here, anywhere from I think you have to be 75. What's the numbers, the benchmarks of how you fit into this club?
Basically, you have to be the founding member of the organization. You cannot be fired. That's the litmus test. If someone can fire you, then you don't have the real ownership of the company. And then their current threshold is $1 million or more in their top line revenues.
Okay.
So I think the average in Chicago is a little over 17 million right now on an annual revenue basis. So they're really the movers and shakers. They're the ones who are hiring everybody. They're growing in an economy that might be down. They're the ones who are going through the mergers and acquisition process. And it's incredible. It started off as just an opportunity to use their membership experiences, their monthly events, as we were elevating their experience for them. And because the organization exists just to interact with one another, it's all again about that face-to-face engagement. And whether it's in their forum groups of 8 people or it's in their large meetings and or social events, once-in-a-lifetime experiences, whatever that is, it's that membership experience that they're after, and that's what we're about as well. So being around it is phenomenal. We get to use our process and our product and create everything that I want as a business owner myself.
I always talk to, again, my clients or companies that I work with that said associations are huge. Surrounding yourself with people that are playing up or playing big. Right. Obviously, you're doing that on a daily and a weekly basis with these individuals, and I'm sure you're sometimes just being there, you're picking up so many more advantageous tips for your business just by being around these people that are playing at high levels.
Exactly. And a lot of what we do, because we work in so many different markets, a lot of the members that we work with through advanced events and not necessarily just through the Entrepreneurs Organization, we're bringing experiences from other verticals and other types of companies. So we may be considered a boutique size company because of our staff size, but at the same time we're consulting in organizations that have 300, 400, and 600 people. So how do you make that 600 person firm feel quaint, and at the same time, how do you have somebody who may be a 6 to 10 person organization feel like they're standing on the shoulders of giants?
Wow, that's incredible. And I know that one of the things that I always talk about too is the power of goal setting. So when I'm working with clients, one of the things they say is I know that I know what goal setting is, but I don't know really how to achieve my goals. A lot of people start out at New Year's and they set weight goals or health goals or monetary goals or relationship goals, but then about March 1st it just kind of all slides down. Do you set goals, and kind of what's one tip you can give somebody listening to say, these are maybe the way I set my goals and this is how I'm able to achieve them?
I have the voices of my staff right now in the back of my head going, no, not again.
Right.
Honestly, it's having that vision, but then surrounding yourself with the people who are going to be able to incrementally get you there. So they talk about the vision and the integrator, and you cannot be both. And that is the hardest lesson for somebody who has made a living out of being a type A personality. I hear my husband, yes, honey, I know. It's absolutely, you cannot do it all, and if you surround yourself with the right people, it's going to be amazing.
I think that's awesome, because I had an opportunity a while back to interview the group president of MB Bank. And he talked about the culture and the importance of the CEO down. The culture is so important in leadership training and professional development and surrounding yourself with people that want to be there. So you've obviously developed within your organization a culture of people that really want to be there, not just have to be there, and it's obviously making a huge impact.
It is making a huge impact, and it goes into the development of yourself as a leader. And if your company is going to be a company or just a hobby. That was a big turning point for me a few years back, where you have these pretty values on a piece of paper, but until you live them and everybody around you live them, they're just words on a piece of paper. And you mentioned about being people. Literally our number one core value is that we are people first who come together for a common purpose. So if I treat my staff that the job is ever more important than what we're doing collectively, or that what the people are doing individually versus what we're doing collectively, that's not who the company's going to be. And the first time somebody acts in a selfish manner instead of for the collective good is the first day that they're invited to leave.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Harsh, but something that you said is exactly
I
what
live it.
done.
I live it. We are people first, and if you have something going on outside of work, that's family. Nothing comes before God and family. That is absolutely where you need to be.
Yeah.
But then as the group, we come together to support that person. And there are times that I need just as much support as I'm giving somebody else. But our core values are incredibly, incredibly ingrained in everything we do. Results that matter, be fun and easy to work with, et cetera, et cetera. So
Wow.
we have 5 that are very key.
Good for you. That's great. So switching gears, want to lighten it up just for a second. I know we're talking a lot of tactics and a lot of success stories and all that, and kind of how you grew to be where you're at today. I want to have the audience understand.
Audience. Oh, yes, audience.
Yes, yes. I want to have them hear maybe a hidden talent or a special skill. Maybe somebody, family members, or even colleagues don't even know about you, but you are willing to share right on this show here.
What am I willing to share?
Yeah, what is maybe a hidden talent or something that you do that most people don't know?
It's not so much a talent, but
Okay.
in any crowded room, especially if it's noisy, you will see me to start using sign language.
Okay.
I love it. I learned it from a WAG's placemat when I was
Sure.
in high school, and sitting there with my mom at dinner, and I loved it. And I went to college classes while I was in high school to learn sign language. And while I'm in a bar, especially, and it's loud and noisy, I will start signing, and nobody has a clue what I'm saying or doing with my hands.
Well, interestingly enough, I'm going to have you maybe sign off in sign language.
Oh,
Or say
great.
goodbye. Okay.
Bye.
Exactly. So, well, this has been great. This has been amazing. Thanks. I know you're a very busy woman. You're a businesswoman. You're a mother. You're a wife. You're part of so many organizations. So thanks for taking the time out to come on this show. Where can someone find you or learn more about your company?
There's either advancedevents.net. That might be too hard. So beyondyourevent.com is probably the easier one.
Advancedevents.net or beyondyourevent.com.
Beyondyourevent.com. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you could maybe say goodbye in sign language, would that?
How about? Thank you.
There you go. So this was another episode of Success Blueprints. Again, my name is Scott Hansen and I'm your host. And as always, go out and make it a great day because you absolutely deserve it. Take care.